What's up, YouTube? It's your boy the Volpix with another video. Um yeah, we we didn't particularly make profit from the slips that I shared with you guys. Out of those three slips, only one managed to hit. Um if I'm not mistaken, because I didn't particularly place any slip today because I didn't have any sort of a voucher. So I'm hoping that today I'll be able to bet, and I'm going to share my slips with you at the end of the video. As always, I very much advise you to watch the whole video so you can get quality analysis and make good bets, because everything I say in the video is to help you. Some things I won't even play myself, but I feel like if you play that thing that I advise you to play, you might make a lot of money from it and good profit. So let's get straight to yesterday's games and how they unfolded. So as you can see, we had Barcelona versus Athletic Club, and I did tell you that this is a pretty straightforward game, and I did say that if you want, you can do a value bet where Barcelona wins in full time and where they're gonna you double chance them for the first half and for them to score over 1 goal, which is 2 odds as a bet builder. And everything went exactly as I planned because they were leading 4-0 at halftime. Athletic Club is just a mess right now. You know, you can't really trust the team. They've lost 6 games in their last 10. So compared to last season, they're not really trustworthy when it comes to betting on them. And Barcelona eventually went on to win the game 5-0 at full time. The next game that we had was Napoli versus Verona. I think this is a game that cut a lot of people's slips last night. They started the game slow and they ended up losing 2-0 at some point in the game. It took a McTominay goal to kind of bring the pressure on Verona, as they were the away team. So we did Napoli win either half. They won the second half on goals, winning the second half 2-1 and 2-0 because they won the second half 2-0, and then the Napoli one up just couldn't happen for us. And then the value bet, we missed by 1 booking because the whole game had three yellow cards. The next game that we have is Parma versus Inter Milan. The value bet that we had was both teams to score, but Inter Milan won the game 2-0, so they got a booking in the first half and they won the game 2-0 comfortably. The next game that we had was Fulham versus Chelsea. This was a really crazy game. I feel like the red card did a lot for this game. You know, I did say that if you guys want, you can play a draw first 10 minutes, and it did happen just like I said it would. I told you the game is gonna start off slow. It only started getting intense after the 10th minute interval. The game ended 2-1 to Fulham's favor. They won the game, and I did say to you that a good player prop that I think you guys should tail is Harry Wilson shot on target. In the first 25 minutes of the game, he had 2 shots on target, so that was a good player prop that you guys could have looked out for. The next game that we had was Brentford versus Sunderland. I said draw first 10 minutes, Brentford over 0.5 goals, and a Kevin Schade shot on target which landed in the first half. So everything here was all green. The next game that we had was Bournemouth versus Tottenham. Bournemouth won this game through Anton Semenyo last minute goal. They scored a goal like I said they would, and the game had under 6.5 bookings. They had 6 bookings, so we got lucky there, you know, because the game started getting more intense in the second half. And the game, at some point in the first half, there was 6 corners, and our value bet was the game to have over 3.5 corners first half. The next game that we have is Everton versus Wolves. I my picks were Wolves to get a goal and for Wolves to get a booking. For some reason on my bookmaker they didn't have the over 0.5 bookings Wolves. They had it from over 1.5 Wolves, and Wolves successfully got over one yellow card. So we head into today's games. Where we're going to dive into a 7-game slate for today. So our first game that we have is Arsenal versus Liverpool. As I said here, Arsenal are coming into this game having won 5 straight games. So they want to run away with the league. City just dropped points last night. So if Arsenal win this game, they can go 8 points or 9 points clear at the top, which is very good for them as they head into a 1-week break for the Premier League, considering that this weekend we have the FA Cup. So my picks for this game is Arsenal win or draw and under 4.5 goals against Liverpool, or Arsenal to get at least one booking. And then the bet builder I have for us today is over 7.5 corners the whole game, draw first 10 minutes, and Arsenal win or draw first half. I think all in all this should give you like 2 odds. The next game that we have is Cremonese versus Cagliari. I won't go much in this. Their last 5 games head to head, there's been under 3.5 goals. So I'm expecting this game to have no goal in the first 10 minutes and under 3.5 goals the whole game. If you ask me who's going to win this game, I think the home team wins this game. I think they can win the game 1-0. If they don't win, then the game is gonna end 1-1. The next game that we have is AC Milan versus Genoa. AC Milan are unbeaten in 16 Serie A games. And if you ask me, I think they win this game 2-0 with the Rafael Leao goal and maybe a Pulisic goal, So my picks for this game is AC Milan win either half or AC Milan 1 up. A risky value bet that I suggest that you guys make is Luka Modric to make 70 plus accurate passes the whole game, because what I noticed is that whenever he plays against small teams that struggle in Serie A, he averages over 60 passes. So I think this is a good player prop that you can look into. If your bookmaker has passes, then I think you can go for Luka Modric to make over 75 passes, because this one wants accurate passes. So in the whole game he makes accurate passes. So I think it hits because Modric is the second most player with the most minutes for the club this season. So in all honesty, this player prop should hit if he plays the full game, And then the next game we have here is the French Super Cup, PSG versus Marseille. I won't really speak much on this game, but all I'm going to say is Marseille is a team that can't be trusted, because they decide when to win their games. Like, they drop a lot of points. They're supposed to be in a title race with PSG and RC Lens, but for some reason they drop in points, So they are the Manchester United of France. They just drop points from winnable positions. So my picks for this game is PSG 1 up and PSG over 1.5 team bookings. This is a derby, so I'm expecting the game to get feisty because it's a cup final as well. So I think PSG get over 1.5 team bookings. If you play this as a value bet, I think you get 1.8 odds, which is very good profit. The next game that we have is Al Hilal versus Al Azam. I won't really talk much about this game, but Al Hilal have won their last 5 games, and in 4 of their last 5 games they've had games that have had over 9 corners. So another thing to look out for is that Darwin Núñez averages a shot on target every game. So I think that's a good player prop. It might sound crazy, but I think it's a good player prop that could land. Bookmakers might tune it to 1.22 odds, which is very good value. And then you can also play minus 2.5 handicap corners, because in their last 5 games, Al Hilal have won on corners. The last game that we have is Al Nasser versus Al Qadsiya. My picks for this game is straightforward. Al Nasser to score a goal, and then the value bet that we have is Ronaldo anytime goal scorer, Al Nasser over 1.5 goals, and a Joao Felix shot on target. If you ask me who wins this game, I think Al Nasser should win it, because if they don't and Al Hilal win their game, then Al Hilal will go 4 points clear at the top of the table. So these are my sleeps for today's games. Sleep that I have for us is a double your money sleep. The first game is Arsenal versus Liverpool. We are going to opt for an Arsenal 2 up. I see Arsenal winning this game. They surely have to win this game. The next game that we have is AC Milan versus Genoa, and we are going to opt for a AC Milan 1 up. If your bookmaker doesn't have 1 up, then I suggest that you go for an AC Milan win either half. The next game that we have is Al Hilal versus Al Azam, and we are going to opt for an Al Hilal 2 up. And so this is my double money. That you have is another double your money slip. The first game is Arsenal versus Liverpool, and you're going to opt for a Arsenal 1 up. Please, another reminder, please join the Telegram. There's a lot of stuff that is going to be posted on the Telegram. Some slips won't even be posted here on the YouTube. These are just double your money slips and like small slips. The next game that we have is Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. I know I didn't include this in my predictions because I wanted to talk about it on the side, but then I really won't say much in this game. I think Madrid are going to have a tough time beating Atletico Madrid, so we're going to opt for over 1.5 goals in this game. The next game that we have is PSG versus Olympique Marseille, and you're going to opt for PSG 1 up. If your bookmaker again doesn't have 1 up, please do win either half for the team that I opted to score a goal. The next slip that I have for us is the slip of the day. It is a 6.49 odds, and it's I tried to be safe about it, but at the same time I think it's going to be a bit risky, and we are going to see why in a little bit. The first game we have is US Cremonese versus Cagliari, and I opted for under 3.5 goals in the game. The next game that we have is AC Milan versus Genoa, and I said AC Milan 2 up. So if AC Milan are leading by 2 goals at any stage in the game, then our sleep is green. The next game that we have is Al Nasser versus Al Qadsiya, and I said Al Nasser to score over 1 goal, meaning that if they score 2 goals, our sleep is green. The next game that we have is Arsenal versus Liverpool, and I said over 7.5 corners for the Arsenal game. The next game that we have, which is the last game if I'm not mistaken, is PSG versus Olympique Marseille, and I opted for over 1.5 bookings PSG. This all adds up to 6.49 odds, and I hope that we beat the bookies. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye and have a wonderful day.